Hello, I'm live. My persona is off. So, I'm a little bit drained. A lot of social events lately, so a lot of FE, 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 hi, 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 hi. So, I'm a little bit like on a low battery. And it's funny because they say like extroverted feelers do talk a lot about having to recharge, and it can be kind of annoying for other people who don't feel that way. Is it annoying for you? FI user? You understand, I feel like. But it is more prominent for FE users because they. It's almost like you put all this energy out, and it's natural, or feels. I don't know. Natural isn't the word, maybe. But it's. You do it, and you don't think, oh, I don't want to do it until after. And then you realize, man, my face hurts from smiling. Does anyone's face hurt from smiling after a while? Is this a terrible type on Tuesday? I went live on here on. I didn't tell you this at my bachelorette party. We went live on here for a second, but I don't think that anyone was on, or maybe there was one person on. And then I made it private because it was kind of strange. But we passed it around and we're answering questions. It was kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. There have been a lot of different group events lately with the wedding coming up. A lot of energy being expended, which is the sad way of looking at it, or the pessimistic way. But in a positive way, lots of lovely people, uh, surrounding myself with wonderful people and celebrating, which is fun. It's fun! I'm looking at Franco. It looks kind of like I've been crying, but I haven't. Oh, there he is, under the weighted blanket. He's hiding. Um. Oh, yeah, it was you, Hope. Thanks for hanging with us. And it's going to be a pretty big wedding, Matthias, because Franco and I both have big families. My dad has 10 siblings and my mom has 7. So and then his mom has how many?
Five.
5 siblings. So, and then they all have kids, and so a lot of family's going to be there. It's going to be around 200 people. So I don't know if that's big uh, for to you, but it's going to be fairly big. Um, I can't wait. It's going to be in May. It's going to be May. So I should talk more Myers-Briggs stuff because this is types on Tuesday. This isn't my like wedding Wednesday vlog.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's on Wednesday, but not on public. That's me like googling different things. Uh, so, um, thanks for being flexible, Matthias. If anyone has any questions about anything, I'd be happy to talk about it. I titled this as recharging because that's what I've been thinking about type related wise lately. Just how prevalent that is. And sometimes I wish that I weren't thinking of it that way. Like, sometimes I wonder if I almost like learning about Myers Briggs and learning about typology has made me more introverted in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like before I would expend that energy a lot more without thinking about it. And I did grow up in a big family. I'm one of 5. And when I was around friends and family, it was always, I would always try to be on or present or whatever the case. Um, and I didn't so much think about like my energy. I don't think. But um, It wasn't until I moved away to Nashville that I had that space that I was like, wow, this feels more natural. I think I needed this. Like, I need both, but it's about finding that balance. And I think I've become more and more aware of that balance, but almost hyper aware of it to where I'm um, literally like looking at my battery pack too much instead of just being a human because I don't have a battery pack. I'm a human. But sometimes it feels like I'm running on empty. That's gas. That's not human. I have gas. Yeah, that's not battery. I have to get gas in my car, by the way. Franco. Franker. So, yeah. So do you guys get drained easily? What drains you and what charges you? And what is introvert and extrovert? There's so many different definitions of it. In the Myers-Briggs, it's what you lead with. So, like, your function, is it introverted or extroverted? But that doesn't necessarily mean have anything to do with whether or not you're a people person, for example, which a lot of people think that. I've been experiencing people who don't know a lot about typology lately, who will just, you know, say that they're a type that they are without having looked too far into it. And then I'm like, do you want to, like, I'll want to go deep and, like, tell them um, more. But it seems like they just wanted to kind of graze over it. Like, oh yeah, I'm an INFP 2 wing 4 or something. But they don't really want to actually know what they actually are. Because we're trusting these tests, and I get that because that's how I was at first. I trusted the test. But there's a lot of exploration that goes into it. Um, so I'm sorry, Matthias. Some days you do just have to go cry. We are people, human people. Who fuels Molly, the car? Gasoline. Molly, the person. I get fueled by one-on-one conversation that I deem interesting. Not just any one-on-one. Or being around people I'm comfortable with, perhaps an inspiring event. Um, a lot of times working on things at home by myself, getting stuff done, planning, journaling, yoga, um, a mindfulness practice. How do you recharge, Franco?
Probably around people.
Is that
Okay.
that's the
I mean,
answer
I just
usually?
like general people, but like I don't know. In the most unexplicable places.
Like you won't realize you'll feel like
Yeah.
tired.
No, what you said.
You'll feel tired going into an event.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily want to like get up from this spot. I'll feel better. I can't believe people are watching me lounge in my house. Stop turning the camera.
You know, when you think about it, we're just all gonna end up not being here, and no one will remember this
But for now, they will.
for right now. But it's so temporary. Um, yeah. When we go to random events, he'll be inspired, but or like just it depends though, because certain ones,
We'll come back and
it'll
we'll
be
lay in bed and I'll be like wide awake.
yeah.
And
But not always. I wonder what the difference is. So it must be if it's interesting to you or not. I don't know.
or if I thought it was like a good time, but not a good time, but like that was nice, you know.
Yeah. Can you guys hear him?
Like, nice enough, worth noting.
Yeah. Yes. And feel like a nice time, the recipe to a nice time is the people you're around. That's like, for me, that's pretty much it. I mean, and maybe the temperature,
And the food that you're eating.
like the activity you're doing. But usually, that doesn't matter as much as the people. Mm-hmm. Um, Lydia, how do you find out your type for sure? So, taking the test, I think, is a good uh, first step to take. I like the human metrics test for the Myers Briggs more so than the 16 personalities, but you could take both and see what you get percentage wise. And then, like, if you're on the cusp, I'd say to, like, kind of look into it and read about the top options for you and whichever one resonates the most. But it's tough because there are a lot of sites that aren't as credible as others, so it can be difficult to kind of find an accurate source. But I'd say some people that I like, Susan Storm. If you go to Susan Storm, if you guys have Facebook, she posts, actually, she's posting videos every week. I think she's still doing that, where she talks about types and stuff. And she posts articles that kind of, they're fun. Are you running away? Are you running away?
Yeah.
We lost him. So, Susan Storm will post articles on Personality Junkie that are kind of about all 16 types and like for example, 16 personality types biggest fears or different things like that. And I find a lot of those can kind of help you pinpoint which one resonates, because the type you are will surely feel very comfortable. It won't be like you're trying to fit into it, which some people do, and it's tricky because um, depending on your esteem, you might and how you want to be viewed, you might think you're a different type by looking at like the type you want to be, the type people see you as, and how you feel about yourself. I feel like all come into play. So just getting really real with yourself and saying and seeing which one just really fits like a glove, which one's very comfortable. There's also Personality Hacker. They talk about your driver function, so what your dominant function is. That's kind of a huge indicator of like what you live, breathe. I was gonna say eat, but that's just one set. That's just one function. What you do constantly, um, subconsciously, which can be tricky. And then your secondary function is more conscious, like my FE. I'm very aware that I was FEing this whole effing weekend, and so now I'm like, and sorry, that's why I'm kind of chilled out in this. But anyways, long story short, not really. I can't make long story short. There's a lot that goes into play, but mostly research, I'd say. The cognitive and read about it and see which one really, really holds you. And the most surefire way would be to pay a typologist to type you. So, is everyone one type, or can some people be a mix of two types? I believe that everybody is one type. Your Myers-Briggs, according to the Myers-Briggs system, you're born as your type, and that you remain. It is tricky though, especially with Franco. I've seen him as ENFP and I've seen him as ESFP, and I can make sense of both, and it can get confusing, especially when someone develops Like if an intuitive type really develops their sensing, or a sensor type really develops their intuition, it can um, it can be hard to see. Like, I feel like it's easy to say I'm ESFP/ENFP, but ultimately, which intuitive function are you using, and which sensing function are you using, is the main way I feel like to really pin it down. Um, so, yeah. Oh, I didn't even get you. Franco, do a dance, do a dance, do a dance, do a dance, do a dance. What the heck? Okay, I won't turn it toward you. Are you just trying to get something? Oh, sitting over by the couch. Okay. I am INFP and I feel I am not enough for anyone or for achieving something important. I need more energy to become more doer as my ESFJ friend. More energy to become an expert as how INTJs are. Mark, I think, well, I I hope I can give you this advice. Take it if you want, but I think you should um, see what skills you have to offer, because you're saying these other types have this and this and this, but what do you, INFP, have to offer? Because if I, as an INFJ, am trying so hard to be an ESTP, um, then I'm going to be unhappy or feel not good about myself. You have to be the best form of you. And INFP, in your function stack, you do have extroverted thinking, which can really kick in and can really get stuff done and has that doer energy that you talk about. And it just won't look the same as your ESFJ friend because you're not an ESFJ. You have the INFP qualities that the ESFJ doesn't have. We all have different qualities and um, different things to offer to the world. And if we were all one type, then we wouldn't the world wouldn't be functioning as well as it is. So I think you should appreciate the parts of you that are individual to you, especially as an INFP. INFPs are super unique. No one, I've never met an INFP who's the same as another INFP. So you're very special, Mark. And yeah, you also have introverted sensing, which is becoming expert, not in the way INTJs do, but you can learn and do the things that the way that you do. Be your best self. I'm very stumbly fumbly on words right now. Okay. Beatboxing. Hope says, yeah, I was like that, just knew I was INFP but didn't really do research into the functions, but your channel and Type Police and other have helped me delve. Hope, that's cool. Are you an INFP or an INFJ? Did you discover more about your INF penis? Yeah, delving deep can help. I was the same way when I first took the test. Actually, when the very first time I took the test, I got ENFJ, and I didn't really look into it. I was just like, okay. And then later I got INFJ, looked into it, and then it wasn't like, okay, it was like, whoa, okay. That was dumb. But it should really make a lot of sense and explain you in a way that you're like, what? I was never able to put this in words before. And maybe that's not the same for everyone. That was my experience. But everyone has different experiences, I guess. Especially in the Enneagram, they say that if you're not so sure what type you are, you're probably a type 9 or a type 6. So I thought that was interesting. I don't remember the source I learned that from. My nose is itchy, that's why I keep itching it like a rabbit. Okay. I always get in trouble for wandering off at family events. From your family, they want you to stay there. Stay in the room. Talk to me. um. Yeah, it's a lot. It would be a lot to read about every type. Uh, if you're usually the types surrounding the letters that you get. INTP. INTP. Mm. Matthias says, since y'all seem to have your shit together, I guess, how is being an adult? Huh. I'm glad that I fooled ya. Seem to have my shit together. Because, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm not going to enjoy life as an adult. Like, my ambitions are very basic. But for some reason, I always feel like I'm going to be dead, drop, homeless.
Be dead, drop homeless.
I think that you don't have to. You can. Being an adult isn't necessarily saying goodbye to being. To having fun or being childlike. Yeah, there are tasks you have to stay on top of, but you can do it in the way that you best do it. Again, being your best self. So I think, I mean, it was a transition, like paying bills that I hadn't paid before, but I don't think it's as hard as you'd imagine it being at one point. If I remember, you're in your teens, right, Matthias? So it's, when looking forward, it can seem like impossible, but then when you're there, I think humans are stronger than they think they are, and they're more capable than they think they are, and you can handle it, and you can do it. You just don't realize it. But once you're in that position, you'll be doing the thing. Unless you want to be dead drop homeless. And if you envision that enough, you know, it could happen. But envision what you want to happen and then make it happen. By the way, dead and drop, I usually only see that together with like drop, dead, gorgeous. So it's interesting to see it as dead, drop, homeless. Have you ever heard that?
Drop Dead Fred.
What is it?
Drop Dead Fred.
I haven't heard that. What's that?
I think it would be a movie.
Oh. Yuki is recharged by authentic, smart, and goofy people, but there's no one like that anywhere, so mostly I recharge by myself. Aw. Yeah. Most people are pretty draining. Sorry. When it comes to MBTI, I get really vibey with people. My vibe tells me that Franco is ESFP, but I don't know. It's because bro, just something about him reminds me of my friend's dad, and it's more than that, but I don't remember. I just feel like it, but I don't know. Hey, will you come out here real quick? Okay. He'll be with us briefly. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, certain types can really just feel like other types. And I feel like that's how intuitives type a lot of times. It's like, you feel just like this person. And, yeah. For Franco, it was a lot of, for me, it's a lot of, like, thinking what he's leading with and seeing his tendencies and everything. But every now and then, I'll get stumped. Mostly by, how sentimental you are. But I attach that, I attribute that for you with introverted feeling. But with ENFPs, it would be their introverted sensing. So it's like, you can make sense of it either way, but which way makes the most sense? And ESFP seems to make the most sense in this world. Where are we going? Did you clear that up to sit over there? Hey, do you want to sit on the porch? For a sec. Oh, we don't have long. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Right now it is?
Kind of. It's 6:30.
It is.
Yeah.
Could we do 5 minutes to wrap it up?
You can do 5 minutes right now.
You're gonna talk to Richard?
He's downstairs.
He is? Okay. Well, that could be fun. People could try and type him real quick. But we do have to go, too. I'm gonna go outside for just well, I should go.
Tell him what you have.
I just warmed up and I just got into this, you
Tell
know?
him what you have.
I'm in a songwriters competition.
She's gonna win.
I'm not gonna win.
She's
This is
gonna
round
win.
3 tonight. So okay, sorry, I'm catching up real quick, but I might have to skedaddle. I'm definitely INFP, but my Annie is always like, don't put me in a box. Yes, I have an INFP who, I have one. I know an INFP who,
I have one?
it's like a pet, who is at my martial arts, and we were stick fighting each other, and we were talking about optimism versus pessimism, and he really didn't want to label if he was an optimist or a pessimist, and was just like, I'm very neutral, and I just like to see all sides, and he was just basically saying extrovert intuition, like, I like to see all sides of things, all possibilities, and I was just like, wow, there's a whole language for this, a whole world. It's called cognitive functions. Sorry. Said that kind of funny. I'm very like, I keep right now judging myself, and I'm sorry, Molly, because I'm okay. And I'm sorry to you guys if that's distracting. Maybe I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. To really kick in your inferior function, you need to have all your other functions aligned and synchronized so it works like one whole system. Otherwise it comes out as sloppy and fake. Yuki, good point. Yeah, it's better to work on your leading functions and then your inferior will come with it than to really focus on your inferior. If I focus on my extrovert sensing and try really hard, it looks like that. It looks like trying really hard. Yeah, I think so too. Did you tell him to come up? He can come up real quick. Or we're gonna go out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading the last comments and saying goodbye.
You should get ready and we should go downstairs and we can do it on the way.
And yeah, my cousin is a nice peach. She feels really attached and close to me. Okay. So Matthias, do you think that attached and close to family and sentimental is FI? And okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, no, that's okay. I will be present with you guys. So our friend's here, and I have to figure out what shoes I'm gonna wear.
You could bring them with us.
What shoes should I wear? My black chucks or my gray chucks? Well, my Effie can't always looks to him for outfit advice.
Black chucks?
Black chucks?
Black chucks.
Or my blue ones might match the blue flower. Alright, I'm off to my songwriter competition. I hope that next Types on Tuesday will be more planned out and satisfactory. Because I give this a C. C minus. I give you guys an A. Great conversation, great contributing. I was a little stumbly bumbly. Alright, goodbye!